of Scorponok.
Welcome back to the Tide here. Impact. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Siyang culture Heidelberg, the Y-C002, and it is sort of smaller than a Titan class version of Scorponok, and it's got some electronics to it. It's similar in transformation. It is very similar to what they did in the Titan class, but I did get this at Show Z Store. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours. Let's get in and taking a look at this Scorponok. Remember, TH Reviewer Code helps the channel out. And I'm going to compare this to vintage. I'm going to compare it to Titans. You're going to see where it fits. I'm going to compare it to the first, the Y-C001 Metroplex, and more coming up. All right, here is the box, and it shows the figure on the front. It's big. Writing on the side. It says Bay Y Toys, deformation model. And then we see the alt mode. No picture of the base mode on here. Right, here it is out of the box. I think it looks really good. I was a little surprised by the size. It was bigger than I thought it'd be. I guess I should get measuring tape and measure it, but you're going to be able to see the size differentiation and variation to all these other things. But I don't know, I'm guessing like 20 inches, 21 inches is about the size of a, probably one of the modern day combiners, I'm guessing, by looking at it. Bigger than the 18-inch, but yeah, it looks really good. Really like a Scorponok should look. And getting it out of the box, there's a few things you're going to have to do to it. And with that, when I get into transformation, I'm going to show more of it. But the foot comes kind of tucked in. And this is folded up, and the foot's tucked into here. Got to open up that back panel. But when we get transformation, you'll see all that. And then you also have to put these orange tabs in. There's a bunch of fillers and stuff that give you a bag of things to work on, like screw hole fillers and stuff like that. You're going to have extras too. So once you plug them all in, I don't think I got all of them plugged in. There's a couple that I still need to put in, but still, it's a lot of fun. Looks pretty good. And let's just get in looking at articulation with this guy, get into the small ones, and then we'll do comparisons and then get into all the different modes. All right, we're going to get into articulation, but I do want to show you can turn the lights on. Oh, maybe I got to lift this up, but with the magnet, I don't think that the camera's getting the lights very well, but head side to side, not really much up and down. It has to clip into place, so there's that situation. I guess you're not going to get much up and down out of it. Shoulder tight ratchets goes out to about there, and then bicep swivel right in the middle of the bicep, 90 degree there. And then for the hand, you have articulation, 2 individual fingers here, thumb right there. And although these ratchets are pretty tight, I mean, it's the hips. This guy's a big boy. It's a little heavy for the size. Now I'm starting to wonder how much of a workout these people that did the that big old Lewin Resources Metroplex had to go through. All right, this is out to there, forward to the 90, rear to the 90, bicep swivel. All that's got ratchets in it, really good. And then knee goes all the way around, part of the transformation anyway, so it's not really a surprise. And then get down here to the foot, and you have the rocker and the toe movement. So yeah, big guy, quite a bit of articulation, and he cleans up from the back. Here he is from the back, nice and clean. All right, so next up we have accessories. This Fast Track is an accessory figure. I know they made one in which line was it? It wasn't Kingdom. Was it Earthrise? I think it was Earthrise when they made one. And it kind of went along with their Scorponok and the Titans, but this is smaller than that. This is on the Legends scale. We got these, which I didn't plug them in yet, but they need to plug in to the corresponding spots, like right here. And I need to trim them so they'll fit, but you know, that's the thing. Spent time with it yesterday, and I Still didn't get that done yet. We have these two little figures, which appear to be Ultra Magnus and Galvatron? Galvatron and Ultra Magnus in clear. So they'll just go on my shelf of minifigures. They don't have any articulation, though. And then we have an extra head for Zarak. And we have this gun here, which he's got 4 of these. It'll fit in the side of his hand or on his shoulder. And then he's got blast effects for him, so that's good. That's fun stuff. Then we have this gun here. It's a giant one. It will tab into the... there's a tab on the inside of the thumb that it tabs into. It also splits into 2 when you go into the base mode. We'll look at that. And it has the magnet for activating the lights on the eyes. All right, let's look at Fast Track. I guess I forgot to show there's an extra missile to the launching tail piece. Now with him, he has these 2 guns here in his hands. And they can go on his shoulders if you want. That's a thing that could happen. If you like it on... If you can easily, just quite simply, put it on the shoulders. That works. And I really feel like the camera needs to come up for a transformation. And it's got to be one of the simple transformations where I think you flip his waist around, lift. I guess you got to turn his head, lift this up, but it popped out, so I'll pop it back in. And then we just kind of fold this around on itself and then align these. Let me go check and see if that's how it's supposed to look. That looks kind of goofy. Does it even tab together? Yeah, it should tab together like this. And yeah, I'll go check pictures and make sure that's really how it's supposed to look. All right, yes, this is how it looks. It does roll. And I do want to point out that one thing that I just realized is that it can pivot because of the waist joint. Yeah. It can pivot. That's cool. That's good. Let's fast track into the next thing. Trying to eliminate this face glare. So I've got these clear pieces on the thighs. And before we do anything with the gun, let's get over here, and I think it's easier to turn this on if you lift this up. Oh, there we go. And then plug it back in. I guess we'll get into Zarak when we get into the base mode. It'll be a base mode thing. And then, can we see it? Probably can't see it so well, but there's the slot and the tab to put it into his hand. You have it onto his thumb, which is kind of odd. So is this angle I'm putting it on. Now with the gun on and the eyes on, let's turn the chest on. You open this up, flip this over. Now when you get it, there's going to be a little tab you pull out. My batteries got misaligned when I did that, so I had to open it up and just realign the batteries. So if you pull the tab out, turn it on, flip it to the right, lights don't light up, then all you got to do is just realign those batteries. Make sure they're making contact. Very simple. But this lights up, that lights up. Then you have like a runway look in the base mode, which it's different. Now let's get them set up for some good comparisons. All right, now for comparisons, it's kind of hard to get all this into frame, and there it is. But so you got a standard Titan, which they've touted this as the largest Transformer ever. I kind of feel like all the Titans are about his size until you get in the Triptychon in them. And then, so he's not as big as a Scorponok would be next. So that's kind of my comparison, because I don't have the Scorponok out of the box, or even the Fort Max anymore. And then this is over here, Vladistok, the original Metroplex that they first came out. So they're 01. And I gotta admit that he was a bunch of trouble with batteries. This guy, batteries were pre-installed. So I liked that aspect. Rather, shall I say, I liked that aspect. And then here is a G1. And I have to admit that my G1, I paid like 40 bucks for it many, many years ago. And I don't really care that it's not 100% complete. Okay, I do care a little bit. And then just bringing in a Metroplex to show this G1 Metroplex over here, just to show size. So if you look at them, you can see that the Metroplex from G1 was smaller than Scorponok. They're doing the same thing here. You can see that the new Scorponok from Siyang Culture is taller than their Metroplex. There's not as big of a size difference as you saw in G1. I'm okay with this, and bigger is better. I think that's part of why the price is higher on this, plus the battery installation. And then on top of it all, let's bring in a Masterpiece Optimus Prime. It's just a measuring stick, because it wouldn't have been Megatron with them anyway, would it? I mean, we'd probably want a Galvatron with it. Anyway, it still looks good. It's a lot of fun. What do you think?
Decepticon deactivation commencing.
So I guess I'm going to transform this in phases, I guess. But we're going to bring it up. Bring it up. And then we're going to rotate his waist around. Lots of fun. We're going to bring this all out of the way. Open up the legs. Now they got them in there like that. So it's the way they have them in there. Like that. And then this is going to be the tail back here. And we are going to, I guess, lay him down on his stomach. And I'm going to adjust the camera so we can finish this fun stuff. Next thing we're going to need to do is pop this open. And I just noticed I left my Cobra. We're just doing Cobra here. I guess I'll just say it's the Decepticons are working with Cobra or something. Pop this open. Now this is, when it first arrives to you, it's going to show up like this. Folding on this hinge right here. That looks right. That looks more right. So open up this panel right here, and then we're going to fold out this piece, which is going to also in turn open up this panel, fold out this piece, and then we're going to have the tiniest little stinger in existence. And then we're going to, this should all tab in now. So you have two tabs down here and slots, tab them in for it to hold, and it's in pretty good. There we go. And starting to wonder, will it support itself with these legs? Oddly enough, it sort of does. I wouldn't try this at home, kids, but if you have it where all the pressure is just pushing down on these, it can hold it. Now, standard way, you just have to lay it on its stomach and sprawl the legs out. All right, so here it is in its Scorpion mode, and yeah, it looks pretty good. It's the first time I've transformed a Scorponok. I actually have never transformed my G1 Scorponok, so I just transformed it too. Hope I did it right. But yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of articulation, outward, inward. His claws still work. I really think that, well, the robot mode is good looking, but I think that this is the mode that is most, I guess, most popular. Most people would want it in this mode. Not 100% sure what other people would like. I like it in the robot mode the most, but it looks like all the modes are pretty good with it. But yeah, there it is. I'm done. Gonna leave it in base mode for a few months just for fun. Just probably try to work it into a couple of videos in base mode. But yeah, this is it's a nice piece. Interesting too. I don't see the G1 doesn't look like it does it, but this has like some eyes right there. So it does look like the front of the face of a scorpion. I don't know if scorpions have 6 eyes or anything, but that's kind of a cool little bit there. And yeah, you could light this up and this piece here be lit up and all of that fun stuff if you wanted to. But all right, there it is. There's not really much you can do. You 1, 2, 3 points of articulation on these feet, and then same articulation in the arms that we had, and then not much else in the back here. Hard to keep this thing in frame, but then this here, it sort of shoots. This button down here makes it shoot, and it just came out while I was transforming it. It didn't shoot out, it just fell out, which I thought was weird. It's a little scary, but they give you an extra one just in case you lose it. Scorpion mode, let's do some comparisons. This is next to the G1, and as you can see, this is why I keep talking about wanting 2025 to like complete my G1 collection. Just kind of like completing the figures that I have, and maybe going up through Season 3 and Season 4. Maybe, I don't know. But too many other irons in the fire, too many other things I want to spend my money on. It just doesn't feel like it's worth it. I broke too many G1s. And I don't even know if that's transformed correctly, but there's so many similarities in the transformation. The leg transformation is inverse. This has no waist articulation, but the tabs in the back of the tail are similar. A lot of stuff similar about this. But, I mean, I don't even know if I've got this right. But I don't really care. And real quick comparison to what he looks like next to some Legends figures. Obviously, you'd have like Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Headmasters, and all that stuff. But most people have an Optimus Prime, and they can understand size, height, scale next to an Optimus Prime. Henceforth, the measuring stick. Alright, getting him into base mode. First thing I want to do is flip him over. And I guess I'm going to take the head off, because we are going to need to do stuff with the head. We're going to need to fold up all of these and get them inside into here. Like that. And then this. Get them into here. Just like that. Oh, everything's easier in concept. Really not hard to do at all. Then we're going to do some stuff with these arms. We're going to bring them up. Get them in place. I'm going to pull this around, bring this up, untab, open the legs, and then this piece is going to come up. We got to put all the tail away. Is the tail on the camera? Yes. As you can see, the missile came out. Maybe firing mechanism wasn't a great idea. Probably wasn't the best idea in the world. Now we can open this back up, pull this back in, get this like so. Should tab in. So we've got that part of the base going, and then opening this piece here up, the runway, which we'll turn on here in a bit, and then we are going to need to go back into popping open some stuff. All right, you can open up these panels here, and then with that, you're going to get all of this stuff out of here. Guess it's easier just to lift the foot out a bit to get access to this panel. It's going to open up, and there should be one more panel. And we have these devices right here that come out, and then this should pop open right here, and then you have missiles exposed. Same thing on the other side. Then you got to fold this little flap down here, right there. Open that up. Then we have the gun splits, and then you can put. So you'll tab. One will tab into here, and then one will tab into the other side. One of the things I haven't talked about too much so far is this. This is the shield. It originally comes with these pieces. You can clip them to the side of the legs too, if you wanted to, which I failed to show. But you can clip them over here. I think it's going to go like that. Then you have this, and it's going to go like right in between them. So I think that's everything we're going to do with the base mode for now. Now we got to get into Zarak. Alright, so just like the vintage toy, we have like a head, helmet, outer shell, And it is not easy to manipulate this guy. But I find if you get all that out of the way, and then you just spread them, you can pop them out. Which it doesn't feel right, but anyway. He basically just folds up a lot like a standard Headmaster. But a little bit more, well, lot more going on here. And yeah, you can get little pads out. Fold this down. Now he does come with this head. And he comes with the additional head here. I like this one more. But I want to leave that on there. But I'll show what it all can do. And this is very Headmaster-ish, just like back in the day. So you get your stuff a little, well, that's Zarak right there, but then he has this body too, so that's pretty cool. That looks okay, but I do prefer it the other way, so I'm going to be showcasing it this way. This feels more right to me, even though actually this probably looks better. This feels better. Feels right. No covering up of the face or anything, but I don't care, really. This is nice. This is good. I'm okay with it. And I wouldn't have minded. Truthfully, I would have liked to have had an extra one of him, oddly enough. But anyway, got an empty head shell that I'm sure I can find a way to clip it back on there just fine. But I'm just going to leave it aside for now. And then we're going to look at this base. So it's all about the base. About the base. No trouble. All about that base. And it's taking up all the review space. But really does look good. Remember, you can turn these lights on. Lights on? What do you mean lights on? What do you mean the future? We're in the future. We're in the future, Marty. And yeah, there it goes. It looks pretty good. All right, here's the base in all of its splendor. I did a shaky cam mode. If it doesn't look good, I'm not going to include it in the final cut of this, but I think the base looks pretty good. It's a nice looking base. I'm going to get some figures on it and stuff. You got your little fast track that can go down that. Hey, it's quite satisfying. He can go backwards. Okay, anyway. You have these little orange pieces here that rotate out, and it's like a service bay. Let's fix fast track real quick. I thought he's all about evil and terror, but let me fix my friends up real quick so I can have more evil and terror around. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It rotates pretty well on that axis there. I like it. I like the color scheme. You can put, of course, the guns on there. The 4 double barrel guns. I probably need to straighten those pieces out just a little bit. It's starting to get on my nerves that they're not perfectly straight. But aside from that, it's a nice looking base mode overall. And what I kind of see with these little things there is you can put figures in there to be manning the base or those kinds of things that are going on. And yeah, it's Legends scale. A lot of people say, of course, Titans are more Legends scale than something that would be like this, that would be made for Legends. But let's go ahead and get some figures on it and see how that looks. All right, here it is with some figures on it. And I want to say that, yeah, I've got Optimus Prime and Megatron both on here. Megatron was no longer alive. He was converted, transformed into Galvatron by this point. As you can see, it's kind of my thought of these guys in here. But yeah, Megatron and Optimus Prime, they're only enemies on the TV show. In real life, they stand around making fun of Leader 1. But speaking of Leader 1, he's almost Legend scale. Like if you get a vintage Leader 1, he's close, but no cigar. Still, that's how it looks with some figures on it. I think it looks really good. All right, this is my look at the Heidelberg, the Siyang Culture Scorponok, and it's the 002. I think it looks fantastic. They've done a pretty good job with this figure. I'm shocked that it's bigger than I thought. My only downside is, though, it is $200 for being smaller than the Titan. But I haven't really handled the Titan loose, so I don't know if it's better than the Titan. It does have some electronics. You do have some light-up gimmicks. You do have light-up eyes. You do have light-up runway / chest piece. And the base mode's nice. I'm probably going to keep it in the base mode for a while and try to work it into some videos, you know. As you know, I try to do. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. You can get this at Shozy store. It is right now $200. TH review code helps channel out. Let me know what you think about this. Are you in on this? Is this something that you'd be interested in yourself? Are you passed on this? And do you already have the Hasbro Titan one? And do you love that? Like, subscribe to Different Hanger Out.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Decepticons, prepare to face Fortress Maximus. It will take more than your pathetic little dance to stop Scorponok. Watch this! Now to rescue Daniel. It's a miracle we finally got this flying junk pile of yours stabilized.
You were the idiot who opened the plasma energy chamber, Galvatron.
And I will rule the galaxy!
We shall see, Galvatron. We shall see.